The Hypersonic Air-Breathing Weapon Concept (HAWC) vehicle, developed under a partnership of the U.S. Air Force and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, has made a free flight the week of September 20th. The vehicle, which was built by Raytheon Technologies with a hypersonic engine built by Northrop Grumman, flew faster than Mach 5. DARPA has declined to say how long the vehicle flew. The Pentagon stated that the United States has tested an air-breathing hypersonic weapon capable of speeds faster than 5 times the speed of sound, making the first successful test of the class of weapon since 2013. In this video, Defense Updates reports on the successful test of the Hypersonic Air-Breathing Weapon Concept (HAWC). Let's get into the details. This video is sponsored by the free-to-play military vehicle combat game War Thunder. We talk a lot about military vehicles on this channel, but what about trying them out for yourself? In War Thunder, you can choose from more than 1,200 playable vehicles from the 1930s to the 1990s and go to battle on more than 80 theaters of war. You can fly aircraft, helicopters, drive tanks, and command ships of all types and sizes, which have been carefully recreated from their real-world counterparts. It's available as a free download on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One with cross-platform support. So grab your friends and give it a try. All viewers of Defense Updates that register using the link in the description below will also get a free premium tank, aircraft, or ship and 3 days of premium account time as a bonus. An object is said to be hypersonic once they exceed speeds of Mach 5. That's 5 times the speed of sound. This is about 1,715 meters per second, or 3,836 miles per hour, or 6,174 kilometers per hour. Hypersonic weapons are being pursued by several advanced militaries since the speed makes them almost impossible to defend against with the most current air defense systems. U.S. Air Force is working on multiple hypersonic weapons. The service has stated it plans to pursue both the Air-Launched Rapid Response (ARROW) and the Hypersonic Attack Cruise Missile (HACM) based on HAWC as initial and future hypersonic attack capabilities, respectively. While ARROW is expected to be deployed in B-52, HACM will be smaller and carried on fighter-sized aircraft. There are currently 3 methods being applied to make hypersonic weapons. The first is through the use of ALBM, or Air-Launched Ballistic Missiles. As the name suggests, this kind of missile is ballistic in nature but is launched from the air, unlike traditional ballistic missiles which are launched from land or sea-based platforms. The second is using HGV, or Hypersonic Glide Vehicle. In this method, the system is launched to extremely high altitudes using a ballistic missile, where it skips across the Earth's upper atmosphere. The vehicle then separates from the carrier and glides back down to Earth towards its intended target, attaining hypersonic speed. This is the technique used for ARROW. The third is using a scramjet engine. The scramjet is an innovation on the ramjet. Ramjet engines can power flight to supersonic speeds, but scramjet can enable the missile to reach hypersonic speeds. The scramjet engine can power a hypersonic cruise missile. HAWC uses this approach. DARPA said the engine compressed incoming air mixed with its hydrocarbon fuel and began igniting that fast-moving airflow mixture, propelling the cruiser at a speed greater than Mach 5. All of the primary goals of the test flight were achieved, including vehicle integration and release sequence, safe separation from the launch aircraft, booster ignition and boost, booster separation and engine ignition, and cruise. DARPA Tactical Technology Office Program Manager Andrew Needler said, The HAWC free flight test was a successful demonstration of the capabilities that will make hypersonic cruise missiles a highly effective tool for our warfighters. He added, "The test brings us one step closer to transitioning HAWC to a program of record that offers next-generation capability to the U.S. military." The HAWC flight test data will help validate affordable system designs and manufacturing approaches that will field air-breathing hypersonic missiles to our warfighters in the near future, DARPA said. Needler said, HAWC builds on previous hypersonic scramjet projects, including the X-30 National Aero Space Plane, as well as unmanned flights of NASA's X-43 vehicles and the U.S. Air Force's X-51 Waverider. A DARPA spokesman quoted Needler as saying, "We are readying our next vehicles and working toward additional flight tests later in the year." Needler said the test is the culmination of years of successful government and industry partnership, where a single, purpose-driven team accomplished an extremely challenging goal through intense collaboration. He credited a partnership of the Air Force and Navy flight test personnel who persevered through the pandemic to make the magic happen. U.S. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall said last week he's not satisfied with the pace of achievement in USAF's hypersonic missile programs and pledged an upcoming deep dive into the various programs underway, looking for ways to improve and accelerate them. HAWC has seen some delays, and hence this comes as a major boost. DARPA requested $10 million for HAWC in the fiscal year 2022, but the agency has not released a projected date for transitioning the project to the Air Force. Since Hypersonic Attack Cruise Missile, HACM, is based on the research being done under the HAWC project, a lot's riding on HAWC. The HACM will have a longer range than the Arrow because it can use ambient air for oxidizer, rather than relying on the boost provided by the carrier missile like in Arrow. It's expected that things will move swiftly from here, and the U.S. Air Force will have a fully working prototype by next year. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.